Hi, everybody. We're back today with the guy, the girl, and the gay, and we're going to discuss Sleepless in Seattle. Now, I'll admit, I had not seen this movie either, but I chose it because it's one of those chick flicks I've heard so much about. And who doesn't love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan and Nora Ephron? So, who wants to go first and tell me what they think?
All right, I'll do it. Okay, first of all, you know, you're right. Who doesn't love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan? They're just adorable, and also I loved Rita Wilson in it too. She's like her one scene there. It was like hysterical. This movie like has like more syrup in it than I don't know, like an IHOP restaurant. This is kind of, you know, I'll tell you what's funny. So you know that scene where Meg Ryan and Rosie O'Donnell, pre-lesbian Rosie O'Donnell, are watching the Cary Grant movie?
Yes.
And remember when they were like mouthing like all the words and crying and all this stuff, you know, and they're wearing their jammies and they're eating Cheetos. And I thought, you know, for a minute there, I was actually like chick jealous. Like, you would never, could you imagine, Steve, could you imagine two guys, gay or straight, sitting there in their jammies, mouthing the words to some gay movie or chick movie, you know, crying. Unless it's Brian's song, that's never good. So you either had to like buy into this movie or you didn't or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then of course when Tom Hanks sees Meg Ryan at the airport, all of a sudden like that's the perfect one. Okay, that's when I said to myself, major chick flick, because you know she's cute, whatever, but you know not enough that he's gonna go like, and start drooling and give up that hyena that he was dating for a minute there, whatever. You know, the fact that she goes to his house, you know, like that's some scary 1993 computer security shit going on there. I mean, she fucked him for God's sakes, if you think about it, right? I mean, all I thought is like, wow, you mean you could just like backtrack and find out where somebody lived and go to their house. So
yeah, and you know, you can do even more now.
That's what you can. Kind of scary. And, you know, it got me to thinking a little bit like, girls are really complicated. I don't think I like realized it so much because like, I mean, okay, I did. Don't give me that stink eye, Steve. I know I did, but this was like, you know, when you think about her friendship with Rosie O'Donnell, like they tell each other like everything and they support each other on everything. And you couldn't ask for like more communication with each other and honesty and whatever. And then if you're prettier than she is, they hate your guts and they'll claw your eyes out. And I've just never, it's like are all girls bipolar? Do you think it's because you don't have a penis? Like, okay, and then sorry, as a father, okay, an 8-year-old boy flies to New York by himself, gets into a cab, goes to the Empire State Building and goes up to all strange women and go, is your name Annie? And it's like, am I the only one who watches Law and Order SVU? It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, you said, I loved it. I did. I'm sorry. You know, at the end of it, it was like, fine, I'm in, you know, I mean, yeah, so it was good. I loved it.
I got a lot of problems with this movie. A lot of problems. But I also loved it. And I cried a couple times. But I got some problems, though. I do have some problems. So my first problem is with the title and the branding of these called romantic comedies. All those movies should be lumped under the sci-fi fantasy genre because things don't happen that way. Life does not happen like that. That's a fucking fantasy, okay? The I missed you in the elevator and you're coming in the elevator, like shit like that doesn't really happen. So, but that's okay. It's a movie. And they even talk about it in the movie, saying it's a movie. You know,
you realize that Howard the stuffed bear saved the whole movie,
right? So that's my first little problem. It's almost how people say porn is bad for men because it desensitizes you to stuff, and then when you go to have like sex with your wife or your spouse or whoever your partner, that you've been watching porn. And it's not like that. So you get, so this is like porn for women because women are different than men. Okay. So this is a two-part problem. First is, so you're telling me Walter and what was her name, Alicia or Allison or whatever, the one that laughed, right?
Oh,
the one that, right?
Yeah.
The biggest faults they had was Bill Pullman had allergies and this one didn't laugh right. And we're going to cast them off because I can't be with some. Bill Pullman's character in that movie is wonderful.
He is. She talks about that, though. He's boring. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the sequel of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, how their life turned out. I want to see how Bill Pullman's life turned out, how Walter turned out.
Okay.
Did he become addicted to Claritin and become a hoarder and start watching Antique Roadshow and gain 700 pounds? Like, what happened to this guy? He said he was fine. What happened to the hyena? Did they were their hearts broken? We never talk about the other person. Here's my last thing, because I have many little things. It's a lot of little things, but, and you touched on it. If Meg Ryan looked like Rex Ryan, this would be a different movie. Rex Ryan is a former head football coach. Because she's cute, it's okay for her to stalk somebody.
Yeah.
Because she's cute and attractive. But if she was not, if she was an unattractive person, if she looked like Kathy Bates in Misery, this would be a different movie. Good-looking people can stalk you, but unattractive people can't stalk you.
Okay, valid point. It's movie.
Yeah.
That being said, the movie's adorable. Nora Ephron, rest in peace, brilliant writer, had this down to a science. And it is the most palpable romantic comedy. It just goes right up to that line that we always talk about before you just go, oh God, this schlock. It goes right up to that line and just kind of stands at it, but never crosses over. So I enjoyed Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Well, and I think some of that, just to segue into it, is also not just her writing is phenomenal, but it's the casting. So in some ways, I'm glad we watched this after Mamma Mia, because in my mind, I was watching thinking, this is the way a child can properly interfere in their parents' love life, their single parents' love life. Like this kid didn't bother me as much as Amanda Seyfried. I don't know why. I also realized this might be the only romantic comedy where the main characters don't really interact or speak with each other until the last 5 minutes of the film. Did you notice that? They see each other twice.
Right.
But they are never interact in the entire movie until the Empire State Building. And you still watch it.
Yeah.
Still root for them.
And then it was not much talking. I mean,
no, he creepily stared at her. Like, it was a little bit too long of eye contact. That was my only note for Tom Hanks. A little too long of it. But you didn't even notice that, did you, Steve?
I kind of did. I noticed, maybe because I just kept thinking about all the other movies they made together, like Joe versus the Volcano, and obviously When Harry Met Sally. And then my wife kept coming in going, oh, when do they get mail? And I'm like, no, that's another one. It's
that's after
movie.
This.
But that movie, she's like, oh, they filmed the restaurant we used to go to. I'm like, no, that's You Got Mail. She kept going, where's Dave Chappelle? And I'm like, no, that's You've Got Mail. So, but to your point, yes, they never interact, and yet you're still rooting for them.
You're rooting for them.
Even though you don't know.
You feel like they've been together, and you want them to win. And I don't think there's a lot of other movies that can do that. So I don't know. I'll leave it at that. Again, this was my first time really sitting and watching this movie.
That's amazing.
Me too. I've never seen it. Before.
You guys both had never seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Never seen it. I tried.
Well, pie chart.
Pie chart. All right.
Again, I will take what's left over because this is the ultimate chick flick. So I don't know if you feel that you should even take any of it.
I'll tell you what. I'm not going to take a quarter of it, but I'll take a solid 20%.
Okay.
All right, because I would like if it was on, not now again, but if like years from now it was on, I go, oh, it's a cute movie. It's cute.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
You know, I think that's all I would want also is 20%. Yeah, it had enough cute moments that I'm happy about it.
You guys took 40, so I will take 60, and I will happily take that, and this is a fun movie.
Yeah, best romantic comedy I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. All right.
Sci-fi fantasy.
A great sci-fi fantasy film.
So we're good.
All right.
Well,
we're good.
That was good.
Bye, everybody. It was good to see you. And what are we doing next? Do we even know?
It's your pick.
Mine?